Hey there, and welcome to the Hey Kahla podcast. I'm your host, Kahla Evans, and to kick off this episode, I have a few questions for you. The first one being, are you an introvert? Do you feel terrified at the thought of speaking to new people? Do you feel like you just can't make new friends? And would you consider yourself to be socially awkward? Well, let me tell you, if you thought even maybe to just one of those questions, then I think you're going to get a whole lot of goodness out of this episode. Now, I want to start by saying, when I do say socially awkward, it's not a slam at all. Believe it or not, I am a huge introvert, and when I was much younger, I was always the shyest, quietest person in any room. And even though I've been a professional speaker for the last couple of decades, there are still days where I get nervous about going to events and meeting new people, and all I really want to do is cancel those plans and stay at home instead with my dog, my music, my books, and my snacks. And since I had not one, not two, but 3 different networking events this week, all truly very different, where I was walking into rooms where I didn't really know anybody there. And let me tell you, at one of the events, other people knew each other really well, and I was the one standing all alone by myself when I first walked in. I figured, why not share these tips and tricks that I've gained over the last forever many years, and ones that I used this week, so they can help you out too maybe if you feel a little awkward or intimidated when talking to other people. So the first thing I recommend is a mindset shift. Surprise, surprise. I am all about personal development and up-leveling your thoughts. And this is important because a lot of the anxiety we can feel about talking to other people comes from the fact that we always imagine the worst case scenario. Thoughts like, they're not going to like me, nobody's going to want to talk to me, I'm going to look or sound stupid and end up in the corner all alone looking like a loser. So first, I want you to reframe those thoughts and instead ask yourself, what if I meet the most incredible person tonight and make a great new friend? Or what if I find the most amazing opportunity? This feels a lot better, doesn't it? Also, a lot of social anxiety comes from the feeling that you have to be somebody different, that you have to be super loud or super opinionated when you're in these situations, especially when some of us have had a track record of not being the best conversationalist in our past. We think that we need to change something about ourselves to have success now, but that is not true. Trust me, there is nothing wrong with who you are, and there is room for everyone at every event or in every situation. Shy people, quiet people, loud people, people who love to tell stories and wave their arms around. You can be exactly who you are and be confident and bring a ton of value to whoever you're talking to and have really interesting conversations. You are awesome just as you are. And one more thing I'm going to say about this is, even if it is worst case scenario, let's say, you absolutely bomb, you end up in the corner all alone feeling like a loser, that's okay. You're going to be okay. Your life is going to move on because you are tough and resilient. And not every experience is going to be stellar, and that's okay. It's just part of the journey. Okay, my second thing here is to prepare, which may sound a little nerdy, yes, but stay with me for a moment. If you can prep before you head into these events, you're going to feel a lot better and a lot less stressed. I would suggest that if you're going to an event and you can see the list of people who have registered to attend, like maybe on Facebook or the organizer's website, just take a quick look and see if you actually do know anyone, even if it's just on social media. And if you are friends on social media, then maybe do a little bit of light looking through their accounts. I'm not talking about stalking them, but just kind of see maybe where they work or some of their interests, and that will give you the feeling like you're walking into the room and you already kind of know some people. The other thing would be to make a list of your go-to questions. Again, maybe a little nerdy, but this really helps people feel really good about walking into a room full of strangers. Some of my favorites are, what are you up to this summer? What did you get up to on the weekend? Or how are you liking the event so far? These are all really solid questions that will not only help you get to know somebody, but they're also going to lead to follow-up questions where you can either add your own opinions or your own recommendations or ask a follow-up question. This keeps the conversation flowing in a really natural way, and these questions really aren't too deep or personal, and they aren't too hard to answer, so most people will have one for you. And while we're talking about the questions, I want to talk about the way that we use these questions, right? You don't want to come with your list of 4 to 5 questions and just rapid fire them off one after the other at somebody. That's awkward. And it's going to make them feel like they're being interrogated or that they're in an interview. And we definitely don't want to be freaking people out or look like we're nutso. So ask a question and then work off of their answer. If you were to ask them, what did you do this weekend? And they said, oh, went out for dinner with my partner to Bob's. You can then follow it up with, oh, I've never been there. How was it? Or, I love it at Bob's. Have you ever tried Mike's? Something like that, right? Then when that conversation trail comes to an end, then you move on to your second prepped question. Just steer clear of close-ended questions, the kind that have a really simple yes or no answer, because those are going to kill convos pretty quickly. And now for the woo-woo way to prepare. Pull an affirmation card for yourself before you leave your house and keep it in your bag or pocket. Or you can write a really inspiring quote or mantra on a post-it note and carry that with you. Something along the lines of, I can do this, or my only goal is to have fun and be myself, or I've got this. Then read it out loud to yourself before you enter the room or get out of your car. This is going to pump you up and help you feel more confident and sure of yourself when you act as your own personal hype squad. I also take one of my crystals with me, again, either in my purse or my pocket or in my bra, just to give me that extra boost of confidence. I would suggest something like Tiger's Eye. That's one of my favorites. It's for courage and confidence, or Green Adventurine for overcoming self-doubt. It also brings a lot of good luck. Or Citrine, I never really know if I say that right. That one's for self-esteem and optimism. And if these more woo-woo tips have you rolling your eyes, just give it a shot. You really have nothing to lose. Okay, back to the more mainstream tips. Another point I want to make about conversations is to listen more than you speak. People love being seen and heard and valued. That's just our biological nature. And if you're paying attention to somebody and you genuinely care about getting to know them and make a real connection with them, it's going to go a really long way to not only keep them engaged with you, it's going to make it more likely that you're going to make a new friend or connection. It also makes you a lot more likable because you're showing an interest in them, and that makes them feel special. People love to talk about themselves and the things that matter to them. So if you're focusing on others, they're going to feel like you're awesome, which you totally are. And speaking of making other people feel special, I also suggest thinking of what you're going to be bringing to that event. And I don't mean like your day planner or like your business cards, although yes, those things are important. I mean, what kind of energy or what vibe are you going to be bringing into that room or event? If you walk in, head held high, shoulders back, confident stride, you're going to feel a lot better and you're going to look like you belong there. And try giving a genuine smile, like you actually know these people, even if you've never seen them before in your entire life. A really warm, real smile, like you're happy to be there, makes you a lot more approachable to people, as well as making eye contact and keeping your body language open. Don't cross your arms and try to keep off your phone as much as possible. If people see you on your phone constantly, it looks like you're really busy, and then they don't want to disturb you, so they're going to steer clear of you. And if you're really getting caught up in those thoughts like, what if people don't like me? What if I don't meet anybody? What if I'm not good enough? I'm boring, blah, blah, blah. Instead of thinking about you so much, focus again on the other people and how you can be kind and supportive. Can you be really interested in them? Can you make them feel seen and heard? Can you help them in some way? Maybe make a connection for them or make an introduction for them. Or even just give them a great recommendation for a restaurant, podcast, book, or other event that you've been to that you loved. Anything like that at all. Focus more on giving and serving than on yourself. Be present in that moment and with the person you're speaking to. And my final piece of advice, people go to events for a reason. To network, to meet other people, or to learn something, or to have fun. So we all have generally the same goal here, and that unites everyone in the room. So even if you do go to an event alone, you're not really alone. A lot of people are nervous about talking to strangers. So if you go up to someone and start the conversation off, they'll be so relieved and grateful to you for getting things started. And that's it. My best advice for walking into a room where you know no one and making it out alive. Please share this episode with anyone else you think might need some ideas on how to confidently navigate talking to others. And whether you want to be able to strike up a conversation with anyone or feel at ease in any social situation, at work or in your life, I've got you covered. I'm currently taking new clients for my one-on-one coaching packages that will help you become more comfortable being seen and speaking your mind without changing who you are. I'll help you create long-lasting and sustainable confidence and have fun while doing it. So feel free to send me a note, info@heyKayla.com, and I'll send you all the details. I'd love to work with you. And thank you so much for hanging out with me. For anything and everything else, you can head on over to heykayla.com or send me a note at info@heykayla.com, and I hope you have the best day.